bastard man.
Please tell me you started it already.
I don't know. I'm scared. Anyway, moving forward.
Nigga. I mean, what?
Stop saying that.
You
Oh,
are far too white for that.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Ara-
but also we're European, so we don't care.
Yeah.
And they're also two words.
Michael.
That too.
Who's not logged into Roll20?
Oh fuck. Hang on.
Apart from George. How
Definitely.
many of you fuckers are there? There's Michael.
5.
I only see like
One of them is a streamer.
yeah, I know, but like there's one behind it. It's like sort of glitched. I don't care. Michael. Michael, you've glitched out below my thing. Your thing is just floating in midair for
That's what
no
she said.
reason.
Lovely.
Alright. So, while George logs in, just to recap you of last time, you decided to pick up 2 bounties. One of which was to help a scientist fellow collect plants that could be aided in creating magical potions and scrolls and things like that. And another one was to obtain a a ring made from outlawed material from the local wizard, who was a little bit insane, but after a few bouts of drama, you made friends with him and agreed to potentially stay around his if you needed a place to sleep. Anyway, with you having done speaking to him, you decide to get onto the road and continue onto your next contract to complete that. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, after
Yeah, boy.
we've
Yeah.
Yes.
been traumatized.
Well, most of you
I mean,
have been traumatized.
What time is it?
Fine.
Time? It's about 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got time.
I'm gonna say that considering you will eat a bunch of cookies, probably don't need to use up any rations for today. You had breakfast and you had cookies, unless you want to eat one just for flavor's text. But
We can't eat anymore. Accommodate them all.
yes. But who's driving the carriage? I'm assuming George.
Yeah, I'll give it a drive.
All right, cool. Make an animal handling check.
Oh
God.
god, I'm not set up like
That
that.
went well all the other times. Also, did you base this map on France? I just noticed.
No.
Alright.
6. Okay. Wow. I love starting off a session with a relatively garbage roll. It's my favorite.
Sweet.
That's a good point. I need to
Oh.
get
Do
my
a
bag.
barrel roll.
Yeah.
You can still do that on Google.
Alright, so you try and lead your horse forward, and he follows the road for a little bit, and then he takes a side path that you
Comment
didn't
is a
really...
girl, how dare you?
Comet is a girl, sorry. And then she takes a
Don't
side path.
misgender the horse, Jesus.
Did you just assume
God.
gender, Liam?
I swear to Christ, both of you.
Technically, you assume gender as well.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, you don't know what I am. I could be a pirate. It's my
My
favorite.
favorite gender.
Okay.
You could be a pirate.
Oh my god, I will kill you. But yeah, the horse starts taking wrong paths that you're not guiding it down until it stops, like just in the middle of a forest.
Guys, I'm really bad at this.
Nah, it's all good.
You sure you know what you're doing with the horse?
Yeah, it's like you pull the reins and push the reins, and then you twist them like a steering wheel, right?
What's the steering
Don't
wheel?
pushing the reins don't do nothing.
Sure, it does. It's like a joystick, right?
This is like a guy trying to explain a clitoris.
Amazing, Victoria.
You know what it is? I just
Thank you.
I can't drive stick. I don't know how.
You're
It's
holding
a
a stick.
horse.
Don't
Oh.
drive the horse stick.
It's a girl horse, so that's not possible. Does any of you want to try and help Gorg, or do any of you want to try and take
I
over?
I wanted to roll again because I feel like we thought more fun.
I don't give a fuck about this horse, so.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
know.
try again. So it's animal handling, right?
Yeah, do you want to help George, or do you want to roll for yourself? I guess you roll
I
for
got a
yourself.
14.
Alright,
Damn.
yeah, after she notices that you're having a little bit of trouble, she comes over to the front and takes the reins from you, just sitting on the front seat next to you. Slightly towering over you as you slowly leave the forest and get back onto the path.
I just twiddle my thumbs while I'm like trying to concentrate, figuring out how she's doing it, and trying to remember.
Make an intelligence check.
Boom. Fucking hell.
I mean, that was a save, but.
Looking at it, it looks like she sort of handles the ropes like she's trying to conduct an orchestra. And that is just way too intense for you. You haven't even seen music properly. You've seen a guy bang on drums once, and you've seen her play the bagpipes. But this is an instrument that you don't think you'd be able to truly learn without a lot of practice.
Great. Awesome.
All right, are you moving?
So we're going.
Sorry, you continue.
We're going south, right?
Yes, southeasterly, sort of.
I was just about to say,
thought we
whereabouts
went
are we
southwest.
on the map?
On the
We
map,
were at
you
the
are
little-
the little windmill.
Right here.
Why are you clicking there?
That's the ocean to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no, I see
I'll
that.
draw. You are here?
That's where the windmill is
Yeah.
for me. That looks like the ocean for me.
Yeah, and I put a
Yeah,
little...
That is absolutely.
that's ocean
like,
for me.
It's no.
Can
This
you...
is what it looks like.
Hold on, let's see this hot mess that you've done.
Oh,
Oh, well, yours is off
Yeah,
thing,
that's
but
what it looks like for me too.
Oh, fuck.
that's not what mine looks fine.
There you go.
Mine looks fine.
mine
Mine
looks
looks
fine too.
What? I don't know why it's
Yeah,
off.
really
If it's...
log.
Yeah, just refresh the
Maybe.
page.
I'm gonna refresh it real quick then.
Yeah.
Also, I see that fucking cookie clicker in the tabs.
Wait, what? Where?
Oh my god.
Oh damn! How long
That's
you got?
many cookies.
That's not a lot of cookies.
Where?
No, I still haven't even gotten to the prisons
No, I meant
yet.
like there's the one underneath the saved link of a quadrillion
Oh
cookies.
my god, yeah. I see that.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's an
Ah,
old
affinity.
thing.
Yeah, the fur affinity.
Oh my god, mate. You
Listen,
sent me
Why
that
don't you
be-
curse this?
You sent me that before and I warned you and you're like, I'm gonna send this to my parents. I better remove that.
Oh, for affinity. Listen, they just comment
Oh,
Research.
this is beautiful. Anyway,
It's like, oh, it's a hunting blog. It's fine.
so are you just moving
Yeah.
forward?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Yes. You make your way down the paths, and it takes you quite a few hours for you to really notice that the area around you looks more or less the same all the way back down to Ronderia, where you got the coach and cart from. Like, there are very few forests littering the horizon to your left, and then to the right you mostly see a few hills, a few cliffs, and the occasional glimpse of an ocean. But it mostly looks like just bland heartlands to you. As you travel, day slowly starts to dip down, and the sky gets orange before it slowly starts to get dark, and you realize you're probably going to have to set up camp, and you're going to have to find somewhere to sleep. Where do you plan to sort of look for cover?
So where are we about?
Have you fixed your shit?
Yes, I have.
Alright, hold on. Oh, whoops. Hold on to that.
That did...
You are about... Your goal is about here, and you're about here.
Okay.
Probably anywhere that's covered slightly by trees, but there's still like
Yeah.
a clearing for us.
Yeah, I was thinking if we could find some trees to hide under.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that... Do the rest of you agree? God damn it.
Yes.
A
Yes,
great
I
big
do.
Because we
bushy
don't
tree.
necessarily need a campfire, because I'm pretty sure we all have dark vision.
Yeah. I mean,
Warmth.
you might need it for warmth, but considering this is sort of not arid, but it's like, you know, just a grassy plain, it probably won't get
What
too
season
cold.
are we in?
You're basically in... What's that one after winter?
Yes.
Spring?
That's the
Fall.
one. No, I don't
Same
know.
thing.
The one where it's not too cold, but it sometimes
Spring.
rains. Yes.
Fall.
All year round? England?
Yeah, true. Fair
Aaron's
enough.
closest. Yes, it is England
It's
weather.
been the same weather for like 4 months here, and I'm going crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Y'all would die in Texas.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would absolutely die, because, you know, ginger.
It was 30 degrees
No,
the
you
last
don't
2
mind
summers here. It was
turning
horrible.
gingers.
I
It's
know.
if you're too dark complected.
I'm like a snowman with a bukkake fetish.
Amazing.
No.
I'm like that too, except I'm not a snowman.
Wow.
Anyways.
So you make your way to the
Anyway.
nearest side bit where there appears to be trees and stuff, but you can like accurately get the cart navigated through the trees. Whoever's driving, do you want to make a survival check?
I will, since I apparently am driving.
Yes.
And weep
Survival
in the
square.
corner.
George has given up because he keeps getting bitten.
6. All right, so you have a look
If you love her,
around.
You gotta let her go. You know?
You make it
Oh, well,
just.
if we're looking for a place, I'll look for stuff as well.
The rest of you maybe make either a survival or perception, if you want to help.
What are we helping with again?
Trying to find a
Finding
place
a
to set up
place.
camp.
I was like,
Amazing. I take the
Does it
left
matter which
result. You don't get advantage,
Yeah, no, I
Aaron.
don't know why I was rolling with advantage.
Yeah, but I always take the left
Oh.
result if you accidentally roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So the rest of you, you're pretty
Do I say
lazy.
survival or what?
Survival or perception, it's your choice.
Um,
I mean, yeah, I got it right.
I mean, both suck, so
Yeah, well, pick one that doesn't suck as bad. 10.
they
Alright.
both suck equally.
Alright, so for a majority of you, this place looks relatively abandoned. Like, you know it's a major trade route for people, and you probably will have to watch people coming through, but you figure as long as you make it past the tree line, you know, it doesn't matter where, you know, you set up camp, as long as you just set up camp in somewhere where it's kind of hard to find you. Michael figures that you might as well go a little bit further into the forest, considering he will remember the way out with relative ease, and there's a little stream nearby which might provide for a nice bit of cover in case people, you know, do try and ambush you, or if you want to go hunting, it will be easier to find animals. So you all set up near to this little lake nearby, and as it gets dark, you decide to try and set up camp. Does anyone have any camping or materials or anything they want to use to get through
I
the
only have
night?
a lantern.
Let me see what I got. I got a bedroll. I got
Bedroll's all you need at the bare minimum. But yeah.
What's in my explorer's pack?
I got candle
I-
and a backpack.
Does list thing. Probably the list of things that you've got in your inventory is from your.
Oh right, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so the pack is just the pack.
Yeah, you get a bedroll, backpack, mess kit, tinderbox, and torches.
I see.
I
Okay.
got a bedroll and some fucking candle.
Bearing in mind, George, in order to sleep comfortably, you will need to take off your armor.
Okie doke.
And it takes a total of 5 minutes to get your armor back on.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I
Let's
mean,
hope no one's wearing heavy armor.
Are you all going to sleep?
I'll
Can I?
go.
Okay, I don't have anything to sleep on. Can I just use my
Yeah, neither.
backpack as
Well,
a pillow and hide under my?
Victoria, as an elf, your character only needs to meditate. They don't actually need to sleep, and they only need to do
Cool.
that for a total of 4 hours.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything as
Should
well.
we set up a watch?
God damn it, bait, you
That
smart
idea.
D&D player. You
I'll
knew.
raise my hand and just be like, I'll take first one. I have some stuff to think about anyway. Get some sleep.
All
I could take
right.
second if you just shake me awake, and then I'll take second.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, so the watch, it's one person, and it's gonna be Mikolash, and then he's gonna wake up Gorg. Is that all of your plans?
Sounds like
And
a
then
plan.
probably it would make most sense for what's your name? Riley to go because elves.
You won't be tired.
Yeah. All right. So George strips off his armor, and then you all set up your bed sheets, and then try and have a little kip. Riley, what's your plan? Are you just gonna roll up like a little coat and then just try and sleep on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing either.
It's a cloak.
So I'm just kind of just.
So are you sleeping on the ground?
I am.
Okay.
He's a dwarf. He's fine.
Yeah. He's used to
Well, I'm a
sleeping on
dwarf, I've
rocks.
got a bedroll. Suck it.
Yeah, you're a sensitive dwarf.
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, because I have.
Is it like
lived
dwarf
rough
size
before.
though, or is it normal people size?
It's probably normal people size.
Yeah, you probably did just buy it on the way here, and it was built for humans. So if you wanted to share, you could. There would probably be
Oh,
enough
nice.
room.
We'd probably have to spoon, and I'm not okay with that. So
I mean, you could do head to foot.
I ship it.
okay, I'm a dwarf. Do you know how the state of my feet?
I mean, you could do foot to foot. Like that would still fit.
That would cause like a black hole. That's a bad idea.
Alright.
I'll just sleep.
And then
on
your
the
phone takes a screenshot.
Oh. Anyway, I don't get it either. All right. So first watch. I would like for Mikolash to make a perception check.
19.
19. Okay, hold on. Fucking good perception checks, putting a dampener on my evil.
Get fucked. Now he's not gonna fucking explode.
Alright, you'll just sit there. You're sitting there as the sun
I'll
eventually.
probably be sat up against like just near where most people are sleeping, and I'm just
Yeah.
fiddling with this.
You're sat on the
I've got-
cart with the horse, The horse is just sort of standing there, like sleeping. I think horses can sleep standing up, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only sit down when they're super comfortable.
Or they
Horses
call
do
it
not
things.
sit down.
To be fair,
They do.
wouldn't we be a bit more nicer and
They
just like
can lay
tie
down,
it
but
to
I'm pretty
something?
sure that's a bad thing.
They can they can sit, but they rarely do it.
Sorry,
More like lay down.
what were you saying, Aaron?
Couldn't we like take the horse off the cart so it actually has like a nice place to sit and relax, so it isn't just tied to a cart? while it's
vote for
sleeping?
this.
If you want to do that, you can try after everyone's gone to sleep. How do you plan on doing so?
I thought we might do it before to give the horse rest, but
It doesn't make a super big difference, but like yeah, sure.
fuck it then. I don't care about the
Well,
horse.
we're all idiots.
Yes. But yes, as everyone slowly goes to sleep and you watch as the sky turns black and you start to see the stars gently peeking out through the branches above you as the trees lead into the sky, you just make sure you keep watch. You keep a lookout for things like animals or people driving on the road nearby or just anything of interest. And as you're sat on this little cart, just keeping a look around, you see a little bird, with what appears to be a sort of silver ring land on the cart next to you. The ring is in its beak.
Do I recognize like the bird? Like, is it just a normal bird? It's not. There's
It
nothing weird
appears to
about it.
be make a nature check.
Oh, this went so well last time. 11.
11. It looks like a fairly dark-colored bird, like maybe some sort of raven or crow. You figured maybe it saw something shiny and it just went after it. The ring doesn't appear to be anything particularly special. It just looks like a silver ring with maybe a couple of gems embedded in it.
I'll probably pay. I'll probably, just because after what happened and what I saw, I'm probably still a bit paranoid about stuff.
Mm.
And I'll just awaken my just telepathy into its head and just be like, hello. Just say hello to this bird in its head.
Animal handling check with disadvantage.
I'm not going near it. I just want to.
No. You're speaking to an animal.
You're also talking to a bird.
Yeah.
That
What do
you
never
expect
has
it to
had anybody
respond?
talking to it.
I did, and I'm just worried. About
Actually,
its
no, you
magic.
don't have to make a check. I'm going to make a check for the animal.
Definitely getting bored on watch, just like, hey.
Well, yeah, and it could be magic, so it could be controlled.
Okay. The bird rolls a very low intelligence roll, bearing in mind the fact that it's a bird, and it just sort of hears your voice in its head, and it thinks that you've spoken to it, and then realizing that something's spoken to it, it flies away.
Well, nothing
Third brain.
magical, hopefully.
All right, make a.
Work for.
What is your purpose? Make another perception check.
God. 15.
15. You stay on your watch for a few more hours, and then tiredness starts to kick in. You look up and you see that the moon's made quite a big distance across the sky. You reckon it's probably, if you wanted to split your watches in half perfectly, it would probably be the fighter dwarf's turn now.
Yeah, I'll probably just sat there, just give another just once round, just to make sure nothing's about, and then
You have a little
go.
look around. As far as just looking for threats go, you don't see anything of interest.
Yeah. I'll walk over to Gorg then and just shake him awake, be like, wake up, bitch.
I'm up. No, I'm up.
Nice.
I'm up.
Also, I was just wondering, I don't have a bedroll, and can I use yours?
Yeah, it's a bit warm and dirty,
Perfect.
but
No,
yeah,
no,
you
no.
can use mine.
I'm a traveller, don't worry, I'm
It's all good.
used to this.
You don't
Thank
wanna
you.
Want those dwarf cooties.
I'll just jump
Wait,
in this
but
fucking...
dwarves have no gender, so is it like half cooties?
Dwarfs do have gender. It's just that the men and the women don't.
Oh, right, that's right.
They have
have the
beards.
Gender roles.
Norms, yes. They just
Yeah.
the roles are beard and no beard.
Nothing like a dwarf with a fat belly.
Alright.
Why do you not sound like that?
So George, for your watch, you see Mikulash go to sleep. Are you putting your armor back on, or are you leaving it off?
I'll leave it off because
Okay.
I'm not too concerned, which is probably not a good idea. But I feel like I'm a bit like, because I feel quite useless along the journey so far. He's just kind of like disheartened. He's just
Aw.
like, oh, just watch. It's all good. I don't
Yeah.
mind. I'll just lay up against a tree. I
The-
won't really put that much effort into it. I'll just lay up against a tree and just kind of look out over the line.
Yeah. Considering how long you've been traveling for like the last week, and how you've been worried when you were on the boat that people would steal your armor because it's not worth a lot, but it's worth quite a bit considering what you own. You've been used to wearing this thing for basically a week, so it's nice to get it off and just sort of feel light and relaxed.
a bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Looking around, if you're just relaxing, what sort of areas are you looking at? Are you looking towards the road? Are you looking towards a lake?
I'll like alternate, so I'll just look out over the tree line and then look towards the road.
Okay.
Just listen out for any like incoming wildlife or carts or talking or anything. And then if there's any like sound whatsoever, even if it's just like a twig breaking, I'll just give it a quick glance.
Well, you see,
But yeah, not too concerned.
as far as it, make a perception check. Perception of 16, that's not bad. Yeah, as you go through the night, you mostly just look at whenever an animal makes a noise nearby. You see a couple of deer at one point, and you think, oh, that's kind of interesting. But, like, it's mostly uneventful for you. Hold on, 1 second. You like see a few birds up in the sky, even against the dark night drop, and as you're looking up in the sky, you notice what appears to be a shooting star.
Ooh.
It just appears from the corner of your vision before fizzling away. It goes
Make a
by.
wish.
I mean, if you want to make a wish, you can. Like, feel free to send me a message as to what that would be.
No, I'll give it to myself.
Okay.
It's my wish.
Yes.
We can't tell you wish, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
You do realize I'm the DM, right?
It's a super secret wish.
I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah, but you're
wish
the
for the
DM, so
DM
you're
to
also got to make
die.
sure it's not happening.
That's true. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. I'll just close my eyes and just wish for like, oh, I hope this goes better. I hope things work out.
you wish for general more positivity
Yeah.
in your main goals.
I hope this big journey was worth it. And I made the right decision.
Yeah. Honestly, throughout most of your watch, you're just sort of admiring the views because even though you're in a little forested area, and it feels a little bit like your home, a lot more so than the towns, you still can't help but notice the little differences, like the way the trees are different colors, the way the leaves look different colors, the fact that, animals have slightly different skin colors and feather colors around here, and it's weird to you, but you feel like you could get used to this if you really tried hard enough.
Cool. I unfurl into a more relaxed position, put my hands behind my head, and just like, you know what, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I'm liking this.
it's weird to take a few moments to relax considering how much you've been racing to get away from home and see the world, but now that you see the world, it feels almost worth it.
I feel like, especially because like just having my helmet off and I don't have like tunnel vision and I can take in all the surroundings. And
Yeah.
I just feel like nice and light. It's like,
Yeah.
this is better.
You give a nice little stretch, and then
Yeah.
before you know it, you've been admiring the local plants, the local scenery, and then suddenly the sunrise starts to appear over the horizon, and the shadows start to lift off of your party, and rays of sunlight peeking through the trees leading to your path. And
Sweet.
the rest of you start to waken up. Everyone who is missing health points or spell slots, feel free to refill them now. I think a couple of you missed a few health bits.
I think I'm good.
I think George
I got-
took damage.
I got a nice
yeah.
full heal after I fucking died, so it's all good.
Are we just going back to
Yeah,
full?
George,
Yeah.
Yeah.
was George the one that got bit by Comet?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you take a full rest, that basically sets you back to Perth condition, unless you've got lingering medical issues. But yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, good morning, y'all.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Y'all sleep well.
Did I sleep well? Did I have anything?
Roll
I
a
have any-
Constitution check.
Did I have any scary dreams?
Not as far as you can remember. Constitution. You try and sleep on the dwarven thing, and even though you're sleeping on rocks and you're sleeping on hardwood and hard like dirt, and even though like the fabric of the bedroll is a little bit ripped and a little bit teared. That's all fine. The fact that it smells of dwarven culture and it smells very heavily of just gross sweat and
Yeah,
coal,
ignore the stains.
that sort of makes it hard for you to go to sleep immediately. And then after a few hours, you eventually manage to find sleep before Biddy immediately wakes you up again. But you get the feeling that you've gotten just enough sleep to get you through the day.
No nightmares. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, used to a higher standard.
Well, we can't always have the highest standard, can we? Especially now, since we're joining this guild or whatever and doing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You'll get used to it after a little while.
Oh no, I'm used to it as well. I'm long travelled. Just never slept in a dwarf bed as well before. I'll just give Gorg a look.
Oh yeah, it's great, isn't it? Oh, nice outdoors.
A dwarf
Very
bed,
rustic.
also known as a coffee table.
I just don't understand. How does it? Do you not wash your bedroll at all, Gorg?
No, it's like a cast iron pan, you know. Just use
I thought
all
you
the
should
Still
wash
water.
all your
Cast iron
pans and
pan.
pots. Isn't that part of being,
Yeah.
a decent cook?
You know, you get all the greases and stuff at the bottom, and it just enhances the flavor of all the
You should
dishes.
still
And
wash
I do that
it.
You
with my
put
sheep.
the grease in a
Oh my god.
jar.
This is beautiful.
You know, I have people for this, and even I know it.
So we're not going to be eating any or cooking anytime.
More for me.
Speaking of cooking, some of you are pretty hungry. Like, even though you didn't have a ration yesterday because you ate quite a bit, a few of you are starting to regret that now, and you're feeling a little bit more hungry. You may want to consider either eating a ration or getting yourself some food.
I'm gonna eat a ration. I got plenty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a look round and see if there's any like.
Yeah, I
trap-
was also gonna look for like something to
Yeah.
eat. Meat.
Any sort, so we don't have to waste a ration.
Is there any game we could hunt or
I
something?
mean, I'll eat a squirrel. I'm hungry.
Alright, I would say everyone who wants to hunt for their food, make a survival check. Apart from you, Victoria, make a survival check with disadvantage.
I'll hunt as well, just to add to the pile.
70.
I have a bow and arrow. It's
Yeah,
something.
that's for actually shooting an animal. But you, as someone who has grown up in
Yeah, true.
luxury, you don't know how to find an animal.
Fair enough.
All right, Michael.
I've seen
you...
animals.
Oh yeah, no, you've seen
No,
them,
no,
but
I've eaten a ration.
You just don't know where the fuck they live.
Yeah, fair enough.
or what they are, or how they work
They live at home.
in their
In the little doggy
mansions.
bed. Yes,
All right.
like me.
Makes
Alright.
them meat more tender that way.
You all go hunting in your own specific ways. Mikolash, you're a little bit more used to hunting in the wilds, and you look for basically just anything, like whether that's a squirrel or a deer. You eventually find a few tracks, and you manage to find yourself a bird's nest. Do you want to try and get that?
I'll even be like looking for like berries and stuff that I know are safe to eat. Like I'll take anything. But yeah, if I see a bird, what are they're just birds in it, or is that just?
You get the feeling that there might be eggs in there.
Inside the bird.
Is it?
In the bird's nest, dingus.
Is it?
It's like inside
How
the bed, yeah.
high up is it?
It appears to be about 10 foot high.
It's like a building to us.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
If anyone's good at climbing, there's a nest up there. We could get some eggs.
Oh, I could probably put you on my shoulders, and you could probably get up there.
To be fair, we're both like 6 foot like that. Well, I'm not the most. I like gesture at me, and I'm like I'm tall, but I'm very thin, and like a lot more than I should be. Like not. It's just weird.
Should be
Well, I'm
30
not the
Spear.
most athletic, as you can see. So maybe one of the.
I mean, I'm not very tall, but I'm light.
I'm not making
can get
suggestions.
I'm
but
very short and I'm also
Comment.
not light, so
You could totally throw one of the shorter ones.
I was about to say, well, I could just
I was
I'm
thinking
not-
of just
y'all
climbing
y'all
on
up there.
shoulders.
I'm
Yeah,
eating
no.
a ration.
I
Yeah.
just had a ration, so you probably shouldn't throw me because I'm gonna. Well,
Shit
Yeah, we
powered
just
Comet does
dwarf.
that. We don't need to throw you.
See, the dwarves are smart. We have rations.
yeah.
What? So you're wasting your rations?
No, I'm hunting as well to like add to the.
Yeah,
Add to the...
it's
I'm not.
George just wants to eat as soon as possible because it's efficient, but he also wants
What
to
about
help you
second
guys.
breakfast?
I wanna seem helpful
Yeah.
after my nightly sort of like. Yeah.
All right, so,
Well, Riley, you can have a climb if you want. Probably best idea.
I mean, if someone can boost me up, I could
Oh,
do
I'll do
shit.
that, honey.
all right. If you're both helping each other, I would say, Biddy, make a strength check with advantage, and Riley, make a acrobatics check with advantage.
Oh hell yeah! With advantage?
Yes, because you're being helped. 20. All right.
Damn.
It's been a while since you've lifted up someone like this, at least in a helping way, Biddy. So you get a little wobbly as you try and help her up, but you basically manage to keep stable enough as she uses her own weight against the tree to sort of push herself up on your shoulders and look at the bird's nest. Inside the bird's nest, there appears to be 4 eggs with speckled teal and green bits around it. What do you do with them?
Is anyone better at recognizing eggs than I am?
I can have a look at them.
I like them scrambled.
I mean,
Not what I meant, but
we just kind of ate what we found, and if it killed you, it killed you.
Oh, I'm travelled. I can have a look at them. I can't guarantee anything, of course, but
I just look at it and I'm like, these look free range. It's like, yeah.
organic.
I mean,
Alright.
But yeah, if I can
Are
just,
you
like,
gonna bring them down?
hand them down to yeah.
Yeah. Alright, you get the eggs and you hand them down to everyone. Everyone who wants to have a look at the eggs and check what they are, make a nature check. Or nature or survival.
An intimate check.
well, it's an egg.
19.
It is an egg.
Yep.
That's what
Fine,
you
fine to eat.
You look at it, it appears to be an egg of like some sort of crow. You've not seen eggs with this specific coloration before, but egg's an egg. You're not going to get food poisoning from it unless you cook it wrong.
I'll just turn to the group. Well, they should be fine to eat as long as we don't fuck up the cooking completely. So,
Alright,
who can cook?
So we know who's not cooking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I could cook an egg.
Are you sure about that?
I am positive.
I
Do
mean,
we have anything to cook in?
if you really wanted to, you've got 4 eggs, and 4 of you are probably going to try and cook these. You can make it a competition.
I've got a 9 pot.
No.
So.
I'll
That
say
seems
yeah.
a little silly.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
just someone who's good at cooking.
I guess I can have a go.
What's skilled cooking called?
Survival.
Yeah.
Survival.
Oh,
okay.
so I'm
never
out.
mind.
Yeah, I'm.
You could give it a
Probably
go.
never had to cook in your life, to be fair.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You probably don't know what the word cook means unless it's like an
I've heard of
order.
family
Okay,
meals.
I had cooks. Excuse you.
I just said it was unless it was an order or a job description for someone under you.
I say please. I don't just say cook.
We had family meals every day. We rotated.
Yeah, and how did
I
your
did most of
family
the
meals go?
chores.
They were
Oh,
good.
wait, could Biddy have advantage on this because she knows how to cook and stuff since she did all the chores at home?
I would say that your sort of food being brought to you would almost exclusively be meat.
Okay, never mind that.
The occasional vegetable. You would not be getting eggs.
Well, if
Okay.
anyone's got something I can
Good
cook this
food.
in, I'll give it a go.
I've got an iron pot. You can borrow it.
Why
Thank
do you have an iron pot?
I have no idea, but it's in my inventory.
Fair enough.
For
Oh yeah, it's your. I
things.
think it was like your explorer's pack. You were like, fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
that's weird.
cooking.
Okay.
But yeah, you take your pot out, you hand it to Mikolash, you manage to start a fire between you. Mikolash, make a survival check.
Oh god, this is the one I'm gonna. That one.
Oh, beautiful.
Don't fucking. Don't waste the egg.
You jinx!
No, she's
Congratulations.
gonna break your pan
You played yourself.
with the eggs.
No.
Crack the pan.
They
on
were
the egg.
edible if we didn't fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. It doesn't matter now, but I was going to ask it anyway. How do you want to cook these eggs?
I was going to use. Because we have like water and stuff, so I was gonna boil them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you get the pot and you set
Would
it
you
down.
fuck up boiling an egg?
Look,
That's a
I died like a few hours ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you do the usual arrangement for trying to cook an egg. You get a pot, you put it over the fire, you get a bunch of water, you pour it in, and you try and crack an egg on the side. But because of your shaky hands, because you died, your hands are shaky. You go and crack the first egg, and you tap it a little bit. There isn't anything. You tap it again.
I was gonna say I have a small knife on me, and I was going to use that.
Oh,
Why
okay.
are you, why
All
are you
right.
cracking it in if you're boiling it? Do you know how to boil
Yeah,
an
no,
egg?
I was also thinking about that.
I'm done.
Yeah, why are you cracking the eggs, Liam? You don't.
I got boiling
Have you-
confused. I got boiling confused with that other one that's really posh. that I-
Poaching?
Poaching. That's the one. I'm dumb. But yeah.
God, you're dumb.
But yeah, you chuck the eggs in, and then after a while you get them out. And how are you cracking them? Against the pan or with a knife?
I'll use a small knife I have just to give it a little tiny
Okay.
tap.
Yeah, you try and give it your little tap with your knife, and accidentally cut into your hand to the point where there is a lot of blood. Like you try going at it from a weird angle where you try and push it in, but it just sort of glances off the side and then stabs between your thumb and your index finger.
How in the hell did you manage to do that?
I wrap my bedroll around the.
No,
That's
get-
that's
I-
a lot.
I would immediately like move my hand away from that because I'm definitely going to be diseased.
Do you need a bandage?
How like bad is it? Because I'm probably not fussed with.
There's
it's
quite a lot of blood pouring out of your hand, but like it looks to
Is
be
there more blood than egg?
no,
Oh, okay.
but it's close.
Don't get salmonella.
I would say take. Oh, I'm gonna roll a d4.
Oh, ouch! That's definitely going to be a 4 as well. I know.
3. You take 3 points of damage.
Yeah.
Would you like a bandage?
Yes, that. I keep my knife sharper than I thought. Ow.
Yeah, how in the hell did you manage to do that?
Well, I'm still a bit shaky after what happened.
I'll just find a bandage while they talk.
Yeah.
Can I give it a shot?
What, the eggs or the bandaging?
The egg.
Sure, make a survival check.
Sweet.
I know it.
Oh my fucking god.
Here, you can use my knife if you want to try open
I was
it.
gonna use a shovel.
No, George, Gorg sits down and it starts off relatively normal. He drops the egg in the water, maybe a little bit heavy-handed. There's a little bit of the egg white sort of bubbling out of a crack that he's made at the bottom. But
I start to smile because I think it's going well.
yeah, and then you're like, you're an idiot. How did you do that? You're just staring at this guy with the bleeding hand. You're like, watch, this is how you crack an egg. And you put your hand into the water to grab the egg, and then you immediately realize the fire's still on.
Well,
Go
also
I
need
just
a
fling
bandage.
myself backwards and then the pot like tips over and everything just goes out on the ground.
Yeah, not everything. Like you sort of just pull it back, and bits of boiling water sort of hit the party's like clothing and stuff, and you take 4 damage.
4 damage? Are you kidding? That's the
I
most
lost-
damage I've taken.
I lost a third of my health cutting my hand. I don't like this.
I lost more than a third of my health from boiling water.
Yeah, your hand is very red, and you immediately just run over to dunk it in the water of the pond, and then as you
see the pot.
And as you try and dunk it, you accidentally punch a rock, and that's where most of the damage comes from. But it's
All right.
it's no longer
apparently,
burned.
cooking
Who's
is
next?
much harder for a lot of y'all than we expected.
I turn at her. I was like, "Look,
It's-
just died. Yeah, fucking
You
bro."
can't keep
I
using
mean,
that as an
yours
excuse.
is understandable, honey. He just reached into boiling.
Yeah, no, he's an idiot. I'm normally good at this.
I'm just like too far away to hear anything. I'm just like,
I wasn't fussed if you heard
just
it.
you're all incredibly pissed off at each other because of your own stupidity, and Michael's
I'm
just there
annoyed at
eating a
myself.
piece of meat, just
I'm gonna-
munching on it slowly.
I'm gonna try and cook now.
Oh,
We got 2 left.
All right. here we
there's
go.
no way. There is
Let me
no
get
way.
ready.
That's why we had to
Go on.
split 2 crow eggs.
There's no way we can get fucking 3 in a row. Okay,
Oh wait, shit.
I take the left one. You got an 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is better.
I was going to
on
ask,
that one.
did anyone else find anything? Because we all got like decent survival checks when we were hunting. Did we only find eggs?
You all pretty much agreed immediately get the eggs and come back. But if you want to hunt
Okay.
after this debacle, you can go ahead.
I'll
I'm
probably just
hunting
while my hand is
prime right
being
now.
bandaged, I'm probably just taking out a ration. Just
Yeah, just sneakily.
I was just taking because I'm like, fuck it.
Biddy, you drop an egg into the boiling water.
Bless you.
Thank you. And very carefully, maintaining eye contact with the other two, very carefully take it out, crack it on the side, and then pull apart the eggshell before holding an egg in your hand like a miniature trophy. And who are you giving this to?
Who hasn't eaten yet?
Like, all of
I'm
you
gonna
are...
give it to you, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright.
Shouldn't we split this?
Oh, we got one more, honey.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Do I have to roll another cooking for to cook the other one?
Please.
Considering the amount of drama that's happened.
While she cooks.
Yeah, you take small bites out of it like it's sort of delicacy. You've never
Like an
eaten
anime girl eating
an
some
apple.
sort of sweet bread.
Yeah. It's incredibly chalky on the inside. You get a feeling it was cooked for a little bit too long, but you can kind of let it slide considering the distraction of two people gravely injuring their hands on a fucking egg.
At least nobody got salmonella, so I'll consider it a success.
Yeah. And make another survival check, this time with advantage.
Yay!
2 nat ones. 16.
16, bitch.
This time now
Fuck
that
you.
Gorg has sort of calmed his hand down and he's just sort of holding it a little bit relaxed, and Mikolash has bandaged his hand and he's feeling a little bit more relaxed too. You don't have all these sort of troubles around you distracting you, and then you put the egg in, you cook it for a little bit, you take it out, and it's just a little bit runny in the center. Who'd you give
I
it
just
to?
pop it into my mouth.
Yeah, you just have it. It tastes real nice. Definitely tastes better knowing all the struggle that all of you went through to get this egg
I can't
cooked.
believe I'm at the lowest hit points I've ever had in this campaign, and it's because of fucking cooking.
To be fair, you've had
How many
one.
points are you on?
We've had one
I'm on
fight.
10
You've had
right
one
now.
fight.
You still got more than me.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
And that
Wizards
is
of
how
Week.
you cook an egg.
Thank you.
for
I guess
breakfast.
we know who's doing the cooking from now on.
Did you
Yeah.
say you wanted to? Did you say you wanted to hunt more?
Oh, God.
I'm not really in a good position. I'd
Yeah,
probably
we've
do
all
it at
eaten.
disadvantage.
All right, everyone who hasn't eaten an egg, just take out a ration, which is, I think, just George.
Oh, I already had a ration.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure you
I
mark
had
it
a
off your
ration already.
inventory then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Uh,
I'm gonna
after,
gather up my pot and stuff before I forget it.
what I would say is that for both of you, if you want to if anyone wants to make medical checks for them, you could probably mitigate some of the damage.
Please.
I'm too
I
stupid
don't
for
have
that.
anything.
6 HP left.
Ooh, yeah. Someone do that.
I gave them bandages. I did my part.
That's just to stop the bleeding and make it a little bit less bad. If you want to do if you actually want to
I
help,
would hurt them more if I
I'll
tried.
give it a go.
who
No.
are you making a medical check to, Michael?
The fighter.
George, Gorg, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
help my fellow dwarf.
Okay.
I would say you have this with advantage because you're doing it slow, and he would probably be helping you, telling you how it hurts and why.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
18.
Oh,
Hold on a second. Just
sorry for doubting.
Dice gods have mercy.
Yeah, you using a little bit of your magic, you managed to just conjure up just the tiniest bit of chill touch, and you sort of wave it over his hand, and that sort of seems to calm down the burning and bruising a little bit. As the bruise is still there, and it still really hurts, but you get a feeling that like the whole hand is no longer sore. I would say you heal 2 HP, George.
Yes.
Oh, that's miles better. Oh, thanks, bud.
No problem.
Are you gonna
Does
try
anyone know
and
anything about herbs?
I'm not doing it again.
About
I will
what?
not get that lucky again.
sorry, what'd you
About
say, Victor?
herbs.
Herbs. Well, party.
Eh?
Do any of you know anything about herbs?
No.
Probably not.
The only thing I say I would have is
I'll make
like
one.
sage.
I
'cause
mean,
I do know.
I could give it a go for a nature check, but
I might know some mama's.
Why are you
cooking recipes,
asking-
but that's about it.
Riley? Is it for
Because I was
cooking?
thinking, no, like looking for herbs to help with the injuries.
Yeah,
Like
just smoke
aloe
up.
vera.
For example.
some of the good herb.
Well,
Yeah.
Take my mind off it.
Well, considering Mikolash is just a straight cut, and
I'll be fine.
Gorg's injuries have basically already been healed up. It probably
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's just a
help
bit
super
sore now.
much. Yeah.
Alright.
So, well, let's get on with what we need to do then.
Yeah.
Before we
You.
manage to hurt ourselves even more.
Can I go get a drink before we set off? Like, totally unrelated.
Like.
Sure, just be careful.
No, I mean, like,
You,
in real
uh,
life.
Yeah.
Oh, in real life?
Drink.
Okay.
I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I can't believe you rolled 2 nat 1s. Cooking a fucking egg. That's my favorite.
That was
Just
beautiful.
how far away are we from our flowers? Is it about an hour?
Yeah, about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's fine then, because
Yeah.
that's technically a short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since I got up
yeah.
early, I'll just have a quick nap in the back of the cart.
Yeah. Everyone's feet are probably gonna have to have both the girls in the front and have Ragthorn in the back with you because he's the shortest, so he could probably just be out the way while you two sleep.
Before we set off, I'm just gonna double check that everyone's gathered up all their stuff and hasn't left anything.
Yeah.
My armor and my stuff.
Yeah, you guys basically are you getting back into your armor, or are you just taking it with you?
I'll leave it off while I nap.
Okay.
Put it on when we get there.
Well, we don't have to sleep.
Oh, I got up early, so I might.
Well,
Just...
napping is basically you're just gonna lay down for a bit and then your wounds will heal. So it's your choice if you want to keep the armor on or not.
I mean, yeah, short rest as well, and long rest aren't technically sleeping as well. Though you don't have to sleep.
Yeah, it's your choice if you want the armor on or not. Like, but it will be uncomfortable with it on, but you'll be safer.
Actually, I probably should just put it on since the day is starting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it on.
All right.
Now that it'll take 5 minutes, so that'll take up some of the journey, won't it?
Yeah, you guys, you gather up all your materials, you put them back to their rightful owners. George, you get your pot back. You take out the fire. You lead Comet over to the carriage. You set her back up again, and
I'll keep my hand behind my back while I do it, just like you know.
do you want to make an animal handling check?
You want to pet the horse?
This is kind of like how we like.
I'm gonna pet the horse.
What did you say,
I'll
George?
do an animal handling check. Fuck it.
Okay.
Gonna feed the horse.
I'm gonna let that play out first.
Oh, is Victoria back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah. You get the horse and you untie her from the nearest tree. You start to lead her over, and
That's when it runs.
yeah, you start trying to attach her to your cart, and she starts neighing and whinnying and being a little bit restless. So you're like, good girl, and then you like sort of pat her hind leg, and then she immediately bolts.
Can I just say?
Hold on, I'm in the fucking middle of it. Well, hold on 1 second. Let me just mute my shit.
Well,
What's up?
looks like my luck ran out.
Yeah, it's D&D, Sean.
big
Come
time.
on.
Don't speak to me like that.
If I see,
Okay.
can I
whatever, yeah,
react
sure,
to the
fine.
horse running off?
Hold on. I'm back. Yes.
Hello.
How do you react to the horse running off?
I'm going to cast the command spell.
Uh-huh.
And tell it to stop.
Right. The thing is with a command spell is that they need an intelligence of at
fuck.
least 4.
Do they?
Yes.
They need to understand the language.
Yes, they do. And this is a horse.
Bring up that horse.
What? The horse has run off. You can try and catch it if you want to.
I have a rope.
If
Can I
what
try
would
to
that-
like
would that be
lasso her?
animal handling?
Can you form a lasso in the time it takes for the animal to run off within 60
Can I
foot?
just chase after her while people are doing this?
Everyone who's chasing after the horse, make an acrobatics check. I would say George with disadvantage if you're chasing after
Well,
it.
I don't think
Nope.
I'm gonna.
Oh, I'd like to chase then.
I've got short, stubby legs, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be able.
And you're in armor. Alright.
Yeah, true.
Alright. Bait.
I got -2, so I'd probably crack my skull open.
Oh,
Oh, fuck. Is anyone else... What is everyone else doing, sorry?
it's not
I'm
much
just
I
gonna
can do.
watch.
I'm short.
I'm
Can't
sat
catch a
there.
horse.
Okay. Biddy, you try and run after it immediately, but it sort of catches you off guard and you trip over the local woodland areas. The places you're used to, it's usually mud, and so having this very firm ground with lots of little bumps in it, you're not quite used to it. You've practiced a hell of a lot of running in the woods, you O'Reilly, in case you were in a survival situation like this, and you immediately try and bolt after the horse. How do you try and catch it? Bear in mind, it's slightly outrunning you, but you're just managing to keep pace by going through the shortcuts in the woods.
I was thinking I'd jump on her back, try to calm her down.
Okay. Make a Shit, that should have been
He is
athletics.
a druid.
Make another acrobatics check with disadvantage.
No, no one.
Make one more roll, like not a
Yes.
yeah.
With disadvantage?
No,
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 just a normal
yeah,
one.
because you've
Okay.
already rolled once, and yeah. So, oh,
What's
The
this gonna do?
5 nat ones. Like,
you're
fucking hell.
you're sprinting, and you see this horse, and it takes a corner, and you're like, yes, I can cut it off, and so you try, and you see this rock ahead of you, and you think I can like vault off of that rock and jump onto the horse. You run to the rock, and you take a step on it, and you make a glorious leap. And you feel like you're going to land on the horse, and then you come just a little short. You fucking cannonball into the side of this horse. And knock it onto its side.
She stopped!
I
That's the
mean-
point!
Did stop. Probably
Take-
not gonna be happy.
Take a point of bludgeoning damage. One,
Can I still see the horse?
I would say that this chase was relatively short, like the horse was likely panicking. You see the horse fall over with Euriley on top of it.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna run over now if
Yeah.
if it's kind of like stopped.
You,
Yeah, me too.
you all see this drow just fucking faceplant into the side of a horse, and you all just collectively go,
We just win.
yeah.
I probably have a slight
She
smile.
stopped!
Wow.
Just kind
Mission
of just funny.
accomplished.
You just see this little caped figurine go, I did it, and she got a fucking nosebleed.
Good job!
You're slightly bleeding a little there.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Can
You
I-
had a
She
horse
stopped.
land on top of you.
No, she landed on top of the horse.
No, I've done, yeah.
Okay.
Good stop.
You know those game shows where they give you a suit made of Velcro and you're supposed to run into a wall?
That's what I was picturing.
Yes.
Oof.
Bring on the horse.
But yeah, the horse is sort of panicking and trying to kick and get away quickly, but Biddy, you catch up to it very quickly and take its reins. Make a animal check, I would say.
Me?
Regular one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Please, mercy.
Holy fucking hell!
This is not our day. We'll just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
This must be great.
It gets up and it seems relatively calm, and you're like, guys, I've got it, and then it immediately bolts again.
Can I-
Okay, then before it goes, I'm gonna cast Animal Friendship.
No, what I will say is that you can't cast that yet because you have to tell everyone you've got it, and by the time you've done that, it's already off.
Can I quickly
Why
record
why
these
do I
with the
have
reins
to
or
say,
something?
tell
I will.
everybody?
I will. Oh, okay. I would say that.
Why can't I just cast it?
What I would say is that your first instinct is to immediately grab the reins, and then you try and cast it, and then that happens. If you want to try and
Well,
cast,
after it bolts, why can't I cast it?
you can cast it after it bolts. I was going to say that's going to be your next turn, but are you keeping hold of the reins or are you letting go?
I'm keeping hold of the reins.
Make a strength check.
Okay, strength
Strangle
check.
this horse.
You keep hold of the reins. You know that it's bucking and bronking, but it still takes off, and then you are dragged along with it.
Oh my god, it's like reminiscent of when I caught the horse.
Throw it back.
This
Okay.
horse is gonna kill some people.
Now another party's gonna come in and stop this horse, and we're gonna see.
Yeah. And then we're gonna sell it to them.
What did you say you were casting, Bait?
Animal Friendship.
Animal friendship. Oh. What are the rules of that again?
Okay, hold on. Isn't there a way I can,
Click on it in your spell list. It should just stay.
just, like, yeah, isn't there a way I can share it with the class?
I'm saying, spell lets you convince the beast that you mean it no harm.
Yeah.
Um,
It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the spell's duration. If you or one of your companions harms the target, the spell ends.
What I would say, the horse knows you probably don't mean to harm it. It probably just doesn't like you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
this
it
horse.
charms. This is what charms it. It'll be charmed.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just... Okay, you gonna cast it?
Yes.
Okay. It's not a thing that you need to do. It's a save.
Okay. Yeah. So, what save does it have to make?
It has to make a wisdom or no, yeah, it's a wisdom saving throw.
Or
Luckily,
what does it have to get higher then?
Your spell DC.
Yeah.
What's my spell DC?
If you go into your
Oh,
spells,
12.
12. What does the horse roll?
Don't get what?
So can I borrow this? Because I know I gave it
It's
to you.
yours. Yeah, sure. Hold on, Victoria. I'll change your health for you, but just so
No, I
you.
figured it out. Never mind.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. As you're getting dragged along, your feet's draggling along the rocks as you're barely making, the steps needed to keep
It's a
up with
strong
it.
fucking horse.
Yeah, it is absolutely giant. Bear in mind.
It's a horse.
Yes, it is a horse. As you do that, you panic cast a spell, basically telling it to calm down, and it starts to slow down a little bit. It is still clearly very agitated, and it is like neighing and like shaking its head and stomping on the ground, but you manage to get it to a point where it stops.
Okay.
Can I pet the horse?
Nobody touches the fucking horse.
You just see Biddy say this with incredibly frayed hair and missing a shoe.
We are just gonna take a moment. We're all gonna just take a moment to calm down. Fuck.
I'm so glad that you're riding the horse now.
Would I have noticed she cast like clearly cast a spell on?
I would say you saw her shout stop, and you saw her like say her voice had a little bit of a ring to it as she did that, but otherwise, you reckon it was some sort of magic to stop this horse, considering literally cannonballing into it and grabbing the reins didn't seem to be enough.
Yeah, I'll walk over then and just be like, so, the horse is yours now, I guess? I saw some sort of magic there.
I casted an animal friendship on it to try and calm it down. I don't think this horse will ever belong to anyone, truly.
This
No.
horse is more trouble than it's worth.
Yes, do you reckon
Shut
we
the
could
fuck
wonder
up.
if we can...
paid good money for this horse, and by God, we are going to keep
Yes,
it.
I
and
love
we can
that.
sell it.
A lot of trouble.
We can try and sell it off as well and make more money. We
But
could
Gord
did
loves
get
this horse.
Man, we're getting rid of this horse.
it.
This is what love is, okay?
We
I wanna know what
have
love is, and what
responsibility for this living creature, even though she's an ornery little bugger.
Yes, but... fuck it, whatever. Do what you want.
You don't have a say in this.
Do you see any horses out here we can exchange it for?
No, I
The horse.
don't.
Listen, so listen, you don't have to deal with the horse.
I
That's
wasn't
fine.
planning to.
So then shut up.
That's all your jobs. That you seem to keep being bitten and attacked by this horse, and yet you all still love it.
The horse
Exactly.
like snorts in your general direction.
You've clearly never been in love,
Yeah.
because this is just what it is.
I
Oh my
give
God,
her
bite
a
my
look. I just give her a look.
It matches your look back.
No, I meant Riley when she said.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm having a big smile on my face. I'm joking.
Yeah, okay. Well, you never know.
Alright. Now, with that little adventure of 4 fucking natural ones in the space of a half an
5
hour.
or 6, I think.
5.
Oh, 5! Fuck me!
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5.
That is
Mine was
absolutely
the best
beautiful.
one, I'd like to point out.
What were you? I don't know. They were all really good.
No, I mean like in general, like stat-wise.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
Plus fucking 6.
you managed to get the horse after a little bit of calming it down. One of you decides feed it some food. George, you take a little bit of horse food away from your inventory. You straddle it up to the cart while it's eating. It seems a little bit annoyed, but it's more interested in its food than it is
Pet the
being
horse.
strapped. Pun?
Don't pet the horse.
Don't pet the
Pet the
horse.
Don't.
I
Pet
mean-
the horse.
Pet
We
the
should
horse.
be fine.
Animal handling.
It's charmed, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna be the one who kills Comet. It's not even gonna be Liam.
you pet the horse and you feed it a little bit of food, and as it bites into the food, it keeps eating, and it bites your hand, and it just keeps chewing your hand. It doesn't seem to realize that it's not eating food.
I just got that like look on my face, like ha ha.
Make a strength
Lego.
make a strength save to pull your hand free.
that one.
Strength
Right.
save. You sort of you're like go stop. It doesn't understand you because it's a horse. And as you pull your hand, you feel its teeth like sort of graze and drag along all of the knuckles of your fingers before you pull it free, and just sort of breathe in through your teeth.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I look down at my hand and then I look up at the horse and I just kind of smile because it's like part of the course now that he just bites my hand.
Is that the thing?
It's like, ah, good girl.
Do I
Anyway,
see this?
That's how she shows love.
yes,
If
you
I
all
see
see
this-
this.
I will just. Okay, leave the fucking horse alone and let's get going. 'Cause
Stop
Yeah,
taking any damage from
I
that,
would
or did I
say
make
we
it
should
all?
stop
Otherwise, this is
bothering
gonna
the
take another
horse.
4 days.
Yes.
You know, we could have been along already if you hadn't pet the horse.
Precisely.
Yeah. But you set up the horse and you all grab your stuff and you tidy up, and eventually you head back out onto the road, just riding down. I assume Victoria and Biddy, no, sorry, Euriley and Biddy, you're both in the front,
Yeah.
and
absolutely.
Mikelash and Gorg are in the back having a short rest, and
Chilling out.
Ragtharn is just in a small ball letting them get their piece.
Yeah, well, I'm just probably sat there like still, just playing with my medallion I've got, just
Yeah.
twiddle.
Yeah, that's what you
I expected playing with something else.
Absolutely off
Yeah, you
topic. I
can-
built a giant dick in one of my friend's Minecraft houses, and he finally
Beautiful.
found it.
Good.
Amazing.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's what Minecraft is for.
But yeah, you start to get back on your trail as a few of you rest up. I would say both Gorg and Euriley, not Euriley, sorry, Gorg and Mikelash get your health back. Did you mark down your spell slot, Bait?
I did.
Okay,
I
cool.
only have one spell slot left.
Yeah. I would say because you cast it against a bad target, you probably wouldn't have used up your spell slot.
I also
Aaron.
get them back on short rests.
Yeah.
so
Okay, it doesn't matter then anyway.
it's
Yeah.
Warlock bullshit.
Yeah.
So I get it back or no?
No, warlocks
You
get
don't.
their spells on short rest. Most casters get it back on long rests.
You would get yours
Yeah,
back
okay.
on a on a long rest, but you're not actually resting, Biddy. You're driving the
I'm-
horse.
Driving the car.
Yes. And as you slowly make your way down the winding road, you start to look at the map and you cross-reference and you figure you're probably getting closer to where was described. And as you make your way forward, I would like for whoever's in the front to make a perception check.
That was just the two of us, wasn't it?
Yes.
Frick.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
Bait?
Yeah,
That's a time.
perception, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You see
Uh,
time itself.
Yeah. I can hear colors.
Yeah. You just get high off LSD.
I mean, that's still the wild magic.
Biddy,
Yeah.
looking forward to you're mostly just keeping a lookout for bumps on the road, anything that could trigger the horse and make it want to sprint away. You're a little paranoid of it now, but you're keeping your eyes on the road. Euriley, you look forward, and it is a very hot day. Like, you've all been feeling a little bit of the heat, but considering you're used to being underground or in a castle or out at night, your eyes are not coping
in a
well to
castle?
this. You.
I don't live in a castle.
But you know what I mean. Castle, giant house.
You're a drow.
Mansion. Better word.
Mansions are just castles without walls.
Castle mansion.
Canshin.
No. But yeah, like,
Oh.
your eyes are getting sore in this really brightly lit day, and it's sort of, it hurts a little bit. So your eyes just sort of naturally guide to wherever there's shade. So the forests to your right, like under rocks in front of you, and you notice down the road, maybe about a quarter mile, you see a tree, which looks like it has quite...
Wow.
Bitch, I'm not done. You see a tree which happens to have a little bit of shade, and even though it's going to be like maybe 5 meters worth of shade, you think, oh, that would look nice. And then underneath that, just on the hill going upwards, you see what appears to be a tipped-over wagon.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't like that.
Oh,
Here we go.
Wow.
Fight scene, boys.
Yes.
is that Comet? Is that Comet dead on the floor?
That's not Comet.
No.
No.
Don't
The-
get your hopes up.
Comet's got like a
Alright.
black coat with a triangle on the head. This is a pure brown horse. What are you planning to do? Are you going to ride up to it, or are you going to stop and try and approach it stealthily?
I'm gonna definitely significantly slow Comet down.
I'm assuming us in the back don't know what's going on.
No.
I mean, I should probably notify them. I'm gonna notify them, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
All right.
Shake
Well,
them awake. Be like,
I'm
Is-
Sup,
probably
guys?
still a while.
I'm not asleep.
Yeah, no, neither am I. I'm just.
oh,
So-
well,
So
then
resting
just
my eyes.
call attention to the tipped over wagon.
yeah. It all takes a lot of you a little bit to notice because it appears to be quite a bit far away and it barely seems as like a blip on the skyline. But you do eventually notice like this little upturned car in the distance. And it's hard to see past it, but you know that that's not a usual sign on these sorts of roads. Usually these things are cleaned up by nearby guards or are picked clean by scavengers.
I feel like because I've read a lot of comic books, I'm just like, this looks like an ambush. This is totally an ambush.
I would
Mhm.
immediately
Yeah.
be looking around, like into
Yeah.
the bushes, see if I can see anyone.
Ian
I'd say
guard,
we just
boys.
stop like right now before we get any closer, just so we can like maybe
Prepare
flank
for
it
battle.
or think of a plan.
Okay, so I stopped the horse and I looked at him and like, should we see if there's anybody there that might need our help?
No, this seems like a setup.
Is there any way we can
Yeah,
scout
I
it out?
don't-
Maybe.
Trust this at all.
Well,
Yeah,
what
can I
if
make
somebody...
a perception to see if there's anyone around?
Make a perception with advantage, considering how far away you are and how you caught it relatively
I
early.
thought we advantage, yeah.
Yeah, advantage, because
Yeah.
if there was anyone there, they wouldn't be able to see you.
Oh, ouch.
You have a look, it's really hard to see. You think you maybe see the horse, but you don't see any real signs of people.
Can I give it a go?
Can
Sure.
I climb a tree and look out?
Oh,
fair
boy.
enough.
There don't appear to be any trees apart from in the forest, and that don't really give you the
Alright.
biggest view. Urieli, Gorg, you maybe see what appears to be movement going through from the tree to the cart, but you can't tell what sort of person it is. If it is a person, it might just be an animal. Like if this cart was carrying like like food or something, it could attract wolves, and it might be that.
Okay.
Shall we
Okay.
approach?
Anyone see anything? I don't
Movement,
see
but
it.
not sure what it is.
Well, let's take care and...
Why don't I go first, so if anybody's trying to, like, ambush us, they just see a big old mean motherfucker.
Can someone like stealthily go through the bushes? I guess I could.
Sure.
I'll just like go
I
through the
can.
bushes. Yeah. we'll
Bearing
do
in
that.
mind you're wearing armor, George, so you would have a
Oh, right.
disadvantage on stealth
I was gonna
checks.
suggest sneaking up anyway.
All right. So what's the
As
plan
I'm
of you
kind of
guys?
drinky, I'll walk up with Biddy and then send
We'll
some,
be kind of the distraction while while
sneaky
Riley and Who
I'd
else?
probably be following Biddy and that to just behind them.
Mm.
Because
I'll-
I'm not...
I'll be
So I'm
following,
trying to
but
ambush.
I'll keep
I'm
a bit
trying
of
to
distance.
ambush the ambush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just there in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah. All right. So who's going where?
Probably the two big ones. Well, I say big one, there's a dwarf, but the orc and the dwarf
I'm
up
big
front,
in a
and then us mages in the back.
Yeah, keep
Yeah,
our
we'll just go
distance.
straight up the road. Just.
All right. So
very
four of you are
yeah,
going down the
just-
road. Where are you going, Urieli?
Oh, you said there was a forest around?
Yeah, there's a tree line to your right. You could probably dance through the trees there if you really
Okay,
wanted to.
I'm gonna.
Okay. Are you maintaining the speed of the party, or are you going a little bit faster, or are you going a little bit slower?
I'm going a safe speed, as fast as I can without getting hurt.
All right. So you're trying to rush ahead of them.
Yeah, if I can.
All right. So
Get a look out for us first. And maybe. Do we still have the telepathic thing?
I have to activate it and talk to.
Okay, never mind. I'll
the
just,
problem.
try to
We'll use
maintain
hand signs.
a lookout on them. Maybe send them a.
all right. So for sake of ease, I'm gonna say you're up
hand
there.
signs.
You said the two magic casters in the back and the two other people in the front, right?
Yeah, Stanley.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
is anybody on the thing yet?
Yeah.
Okay, there
Urieli, you're in the top right because you're sticking to the tree line. You're moving a little bit faster than everyone else, right?
If I can, yeah.
Yeah. Rushing through
Charge
the
ahead.
yeah, rushing through the tree line. You move through the trees. Make a stealth check with advantage.
Hey.
27. Yeah. Easily enough, you become one with the trees. You dance through them, and you
I am now a wood elf.
yeah. You dance with them, and you try and stay ahead of the party so that if it is an ambush, you can warn them beforehand. And as you come up to this bit, you see what appears to be a group of people standing... Make a perception check. We take the 2. You just see the people in front of the cart. You don't really see much beyond that. Oh, wait. Shit.
Oh, there's people. Do we see
Yes.
them?
You do not. Only Riley does.
Can I try to, like, wave
hold
at
up
them or something,
fingers.
get their attention and warn them?
What, the party?
Yeah.
It would be very hard to get their attention without also getting the attention of the people by the car. It appears that, like, they're waiting for something.
Can I try to crawl back and, like, meet them halfway? Instead of staying where I am? Like, warn them that there are people?
Not without breaking your car through and breaking your stealth, no.
No, I meant, like, crawling further back through the forest.
Yeah, but you would still have to break through the tree line
Okay.
in order to do that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I'll just stay and wait till they're closer so I can warn them, I guess.
Alright, once they make it to about this part of the path where you see where everyone is, like, that's the closest they're going to get to you.
Can we see
Can
Riley?
I make a suggestion for Riley?
Yeah?
If you want, you could ready an action. Like, you could ready your bow or
Can
something.
you do that out of combat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, if any of you want to, you can say something along the lines of, if it's not at combat, you can be like, I'm going to hold my bow and arrow until I see someone
I'd
else
like
attack.
to pull out my crossbow. I'm assuming I haven't got my longbow back.
Did you give it away?
Yeah.
I have my short bow.
Who to?
Shortbow, whatever it was. I have a
Yeah.
crossbow, it's fine.
Yeah,
Alright.
no, she gave me a short bow because useful.
Alright.
Because I had 2.
Alright, you're readying your crossbow. When are you going to use it to attack?
I mean, I'm only going to use it if it's necessary. I'm not just going to attack.
The rest of you make a perception check.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm going to say with a stealth roll of 27, none of you notice her in the trees. And with everyone else's stealth check, you don't notice anyone. So you're just moving forward to the cart?
I would be like kind of cautious because since I'm like well traveled, would I kind of recognize like overturned cart bandits most likely?
Bandits usually operate in a way different to this. You wouldn't have a super clear view on how this works. Like
I
from
feel
a
like
bandit's
just because it's
perspective.
all new to me, I'm just like really cautious because I'm
Yeah,
just
I would
everything.
still be like ready to fucking fire off a Eldritch Blast as usual whenever I can. Like if someone looks like they're going to fucking kill us, because I don't trust this.
So are you standing there or are you moving forward slowly?
I would be very cautious.
Yeah, moving
I'm
forward, but very
definitely
slowly.
Forward. I'm looking for people who might be injured.
You see small signs of make a perception check.
Okay.
You see a little bit of blood coming from behind the car. You figure that might be the horse, but you don't see any signs of people.
Can't fake that.
Can I go over to the horse and see if it's still alive?
You're going to go over to the horse.
No, actually. I'm
Meanwhile,
gonna get a bit.
you're
I'm
right.
gonna get a bit closer to the cart.
Meanwhile, Riley's just there in the bushes, like just with a crossbow aimed. All right, so Biddy's moving forward. Is anyone else following her?
Can I go more towards the tree?
What? So this
I
way.
would be probably moving.
You can move your guys on your own, I think, if you want to.
I don't think I can.
You should be able to. Hold on. You're the guy with the little axe. Yeah, you can.
Oh.
Can
yeah,
I...
yeah,
Hmm?
Like, would I set something on fire if I tried to light a light somewhere in the trees to call attention to me?
Bear in mind, if you're calling attention to you from the rest of the party, you are calling attention to the bandits.
True.
Oh.
Never mind.
I would say just stay in there.
I'm just gonna stay and be ready in case
When-
shit goes down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you? Which one of them are you aiming for, by the way, with your crossbow?
Could I see everyone or just a couple?
You can see the guys in front of the wagon.
I'm gonna aim at them then.
Are you aiming which one in particular?
Is there a difference?
Make a perception check if you want. Perception check. They all look relatively similar. You can see that a few of them have weapons. The one on the top right doesn't appear to have any specific sort of weapon, but it could be a caster.
Sure, I'll aim for the guy. No, I'll aim for someone with a weapon.
Okay, which one?
The left one, doesn't matter, again.
Okay, you'll aim for the one that's closest to you, I'll say.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. The rest of you guys still moving forward?
Yes.
I'm going to telepathically say to Biddy, just, do you see anyone? Is anyone around?
Don't see. Can I telepathically talk back to him then?
I believe.
Yes. I
So
think.
I'm gonna try and speak in my. I don't think so. I see some blood, but I think that's from the horse.
Well, something killed the horse, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone's waiting around, so be on guard.
Will
Sure you
do.
know that.
Actually, I'll just stick behind Biddy then, just as backup, while we just go straight up the middle.
Okay, well,
Okay.
feel free to move your character if
I
you
see
wish.
no reason why we wouldn't keep moving forward and investigate the cart.
Gonna
But
move
I'm
a little
s-
forward.
Staying back. So is there anything? Are these like barrels? Is there anything
Yeah.
coming out the barrels, or do they look like they've been looted?
They don't look like they've been looted yet.
That's weird.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pause. And I think in my head, because I don't know if I still have that telepathic connection.
I'd probably keep it like constant
Right.
going.
I'm
so-
gonna call out and see if anybody pops out in case this is some sort of accident that happened, because I don't see nothing looted. And usually, if you've been looted, if there's been
Yes.
bandit.
So if I know she's going to call out, I will prepare an Eldritch Blast if bandits pop out instead of actual people.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call out now. I'm going like, "Hello? Anybody there? We ain't gonna hurt y'all."
You hear someone shout help before stopping. It just appears to be one quick, fast shout.
Where are you?
Behind the wagon!
Can I see who's yelling out?
Yes, it appears to be the one on your right.
Okay,
I mean, sorry, the one on the right, sorry. Your
I'll
left.
switch
Yeah.
So which one?
Come out
Uh,
from behind the wagon. I'll shout out as well.
This one?
Come out from behind the wagon. How do we know this isn't a trap?
I can't, my leg hurts.
Betty just makes a gesture for them to like stay behind and like be prepared, and she's just like, "All right, I'm coming over," and she
Can I
pulls out her club just in case.
Okay.
Can I see if they're actually hurt?
One of them appears to be hurt.
Okay.
So I'm.
Is it the
gonna
one who's
come
yelling?
around.
The one
This
without
way.
a weapon.
Okay.
Alright. As you go that way, you turn the corner from quite a distance. And you see a guy on the floor. He looks bloody and bruised, and he appears to have rope wrapped around his mouth. And you see two other guys, one wielding a sword looking nervous, and another one wielding a bow and arrow. The moment the one wielding a bow and arrow sees you, he lets forth a shot.
I would like to, shoot at the other guy.
Okay.
The guy main,
Does a 16 hit you, Biddy?
Yes.
Alright, you take 4 points of damage. And with
That's not
that,
good.
combat starts. You let forth an arrow too, Riley?
Yeah.
Alright, make an attack roll.
How?
Okay, so you go to your character sheet,
I'm on my character sheet.
and then click on the weapon, which should be, like, at the bottom, I think?
Oh,
You clicked weapon proficiency.
yeah.
So what you want to do, you see the attacks and spellcasting is right below your hit points.
Oh, yeah, I only have my short bow there for some reason.
We'll add your crossbow real quick then.
How?
See that plus?
Yeah, I pressed the plus, but I don't have any
Okay, so
stats or anything.
Is it a longbow?
No, it's a crossbow.
Oh.
Crossbow.
okay, so
How did the-
You,
I found it, I think.
yeah, it's items.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I added it twice, apparently.
yeah, it's okay. I'll delete one for you.
Okay.
Alright. That
I
is...
found it.
That is a 20 bow. That hits. If you click on the hand crossbow on that roll, it will then roll damage for you.
Nice.
10 damage. Fucking hell,
max
Jesus
roll.
Christ. Oh,
that's
that's not bueno for me.
Yeah, girl.
dead.
Alright.
Dead.
Now everyone, roll initiative.
Hey.
Do I also need to roll?
Ah. Nice.
Yes, everyone needs to roll.
Okay.
You just had an attack of opportunity.
Do I see the dude in the bottom?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if anyone's here.
None of you have seen that yet.
Okay.
Oh my word! Fucking.
Is that a bush or a tree?
That's a tree.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just rolling all of my initiatives. Probably should have done this beforehand, but I am professional. Oh, fuck! Alright.
Profession.
Hold on. Two.
Nope, shit, I didn't mean to press that.
What did you... Oh, yeah, ignore that. Don't worry, it's cool.
It's all good.
That's helpful because I was looking at that.
You guys can't see the rolls I'm making, right?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay, cool.
Also, I just noticed most of my weapons are missing, so I'm just gonna add all of those.
Yes. Alright. So, let's have a look at the initiative and just sort those out. Rank 1 is 5.
Oh, frick. Sorry.
Oh.
How do I delete an item?
You click the little lock at the bottom right, and then you just click on the thingy symbol.
Neat.
Yes. So, hold on. Let me just... mob. And then it's Vic, then Mick, then Bid, and and then... Alright. But yes. In the space of about 3 seconds, Biddy, you turn the corner and you see what appears to be a group of people before you see an arrow fly at you. It grazes just across your shoulder, letting blood flow down your front a little bit, before you look and turn at them, and the person that fired at you immediately catches an arrow to the side of their arm, going through one side and out the other.
Oof.
And immediately panic starts to erupt as this fellow, a guy wielding a pretty large, what appears to be a stick with string being laced through several knives, runs at you screeching.
And you said there is one guy down there who's just like tied up, right?
Yes, there is.
Also, do I see that guy who's running at Biddy?
Yes, you would.
Will my prepared thing go off then?
What prepared thing?
His prepared spell.
Yeah, I said I was cautious because we heard people call out, and if anyone came out who was attacking us, Eldritch Blast.
Basically, he's asking if he gets an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, sure. I would say with disadvantage because you didn't know which side he was going to come out of.
I guess, yep.
Alright, what is 9? Yeah, that doesn't hit.
I'll throw a hand axe then.
It's not your turn yet, George. Like,
right.
because he had prepared an action, you can say like, if someone does this, I will do this exactly when that happens.
Okay.
But because you didn't do that, you have to wait until your turn to make that attack.
Alrighty.
I'm just gonna load up this guy's thing. Sorry. Alright. Does a 9 attack you? Biddy.
No, that doesn't hit.
Yeah. He raises this contraption up and swings it at you. But because it's mostly string, you easily manage to bat it out of the way with your mace.
My club.
Your club. Mace club, whatever. Victoria, it is now your turn.
The guy who was running hasn't been hit.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd like to shoot at him.
Alright, make an attack roll with your crossbow.
2 for 2.
19.
Hey.
That hits. Roll the damage.
Sweet.
8. Oof. Yeah, you see this guy running and you immediately switch targets to try and protect Biddy. You manage to shoot, and then as he raises his hand through the air, you manage to get one clean under his shoulder. It seems to, under his armpit. It seems to bounce off of his ribcage a little bit on the inside, stopping serious damage, but you get the feeling that he's incredibly wounded by this.
This ambush was an awesome idea.
Yeah. Mikalash, your turn.
So yeah, I don't see that dude on the bottom, do I?
No.
Yeah. And I don't. I will probably. No, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion
Mm-hmm.
here.
Where? Sorry.
Ping, ping.
Is it?
Like around about
Oh,
here
yeah,
in
yeah.
in the trees,
Uh-huh.
and it's just going to be like a growl essentially of like something, just like a kind of beast growl,
Okay.
like quite loud.
Okay. You try and do that to distract the other people.
I'm trying to do it just to draw attention from the. Well, I know there's two people there because I heard two people call out, even if I've just seen one.
Yeah. The barbarian seems a little bit distracted in the fight, and if the other person had a reaction to it, you're not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is now.
Wait.
What?
I want to move.
Oh, you can move.
I'm going to move. Where can I move? Like there-ish.
Okay. You can move your character, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It is now Biddy's turn.
So I'm gonna bash this guy in the. That's just standing right in front of me and tried to hit me.
Okay.
I commend that choice.
I like it.
Man.
Damn it.
It's good.
Yeah, that misses. You try and swing at him, but he manages to just about dodge out of the way, before screaming in your face. He seems very agitated, and he is missing quite a few teeth.
And this dude's cooked up.
Gross.
So he's British.
We're not agitated, we're more just passive aggressive.
It was about the teeth.
Oh,
We do
yeah.
have disgusting teeth.
Speak for yourself.
Cook eggs like Michelangelo.
Dude, you live off Dr. Pepper. You cannot tell me that your teeth are great.
Yeah. George, your turn.
Just brush daily.
Can I move before throwing the axe so I can get a better hit, or do I just? Have
Sure, you can move and then attack and then move if you want. You can move and then attack, or you can attack and then move. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll just move like up to the corner of this cart thingy, just so
Okay.
I've got some like cover,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll throw my hand axe.
Okay.
Just click hand axe.
Yep.
Boop.
23.
Hey.
And then you click the hand axe under the number you just rolled for your damage. 4 damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You see them getting into this fight, and then you aim up your hand axe, and you throw it a little bit overarching, and you manage to hit this guy into the side of the thigh. You get the feeling the armor stopped the impact quite a bit, but you can still see blood trickling out of the wound quite heavily.
Nice.
Mm.
What's the state of this guy now?
He looks pretty bloodied and bruised.
I'd like to think he regrets his decision by now.
Yes. Okay, shit. It is now the... If the character sheet wouldn't fucking glitch out. It is now the ranger's turn. Alright. You... Biddy. Not Biddy. Uriah. You get this feeling of being watched all of a sudden. Before you notice the eyes of the elf with the bow and arrow staring down at you. You have just been hunter's marked, which is a special thing for rangers. And then he, looking at you, he lines up his bow, and he pulls back, and then he shoots you, or shoots at you. Does an 18 hit?
Okay. I don't know how to. How do I say?
That's your
Okay,
armor.
okay,
Is
on
it
your
higher
turn,
than your
yeah.
armor class?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes. So you take 6 points of damage,
Oh frick.
and then you take an additional 4 points of damage on top of that, due to the hunter's
Oh
mark.
well, I'm dead.
You're not dead.
Oh,
You're
boy.
downed.
Max rolls.
You know what I mean.
You've hit 0 hit points, which means at the moment
Yes.
you need to make a death saving throw on your next turn.
Good gracious, we really suck.
Well, we will
Look at
see
us.
where that came from, because did it come from the dude?
It came from behind the cart.
Okay.
Yes, it is now the other person's turn, who I'm
Ah,
suspect
the
you've
other person.
all been wondering about.
Yeah.
Alright, so you hear screeching as this guy just jumps down from the tree. 1,
Nice stealth,
2,
dude.
Wait, shit. Whoops. 3, 4.
So did he have just no reaction to like the monster growl that I made then?
No, apparently not.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Like, it sort of intimidated him into fighting. Like, usually he would have wanted to stay in the tree and attack from a distance or attack when it was safe. But you made him feel like things are a lot more intense down here and he actually needs to get into the fray to try and save his friends. Yes. He... No, that's dumb. He... Okay. Alright. George, does a 17 hit you?
Yes, just about.
Alright. I want you to make a Constitution saving throw. 10. Ooh. Alright, so you watch as this guy screams. He just sort of falls out of the tree, finds his footing, and then runs over to you. And as he's screaming, you're like, well, this guy doesn't have any weapons. He's just a skinny little elf. Like, what's he gonna do? And then you watch as his hands seem to glow with electric before he claps. And you take 2d8's worth of damage as your ears start ringing and you are pushed back 10 feet.
Oh boy.
You will be moved here.
Damn.
Hold on. Let me just make sure
When I see this happen, can I shout something out?
you can try.
Yeah, I just want to shout out.
Oh,
to,
fuck. Oh, fuck. Alright, you take 9 damage, George.
Okay.
I just want to shout out to like Gorg and Regther and just be like, kill the mage. He's probably the most vicious one here.
What's a mage?
What's a myth?
The one that fucking nearly killed you.
And that...
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you see this weird clap of explosion. It sounds like lightning has struck one ear as everything around him just gets pushed back with an incredible force. Michael, it's your turn now.
Twitch radar, am I right?
Okay, I'm gonna move over to here.
Okay.
Wrong thing.
You can hit him from where you're at, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just.
Nope, shit.
And then I would.
Half of this game is just people pressing the wrong thing.
Yes.
I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Firebolt. Okay. Make an attack roll.
Yep.
14. That hits. Roll damage by clicking on the firebolt under the 14. 7. Take 7 points of damage. You see this loud explosion. You're like, fuck, this guy's just damaged Gorg relatively heavily. And so you feel like your veins powering up and a heat forming in your hand before you lob this ball of energy over to him. And it starts to catch on his cloak, and he looks like he's pretty on fire. And even though there are still like little bits catching after he's put it out a little bit, he looks pretty fucking wounded.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Back to the start of the initiative. The barbarian is going to try and just continue doing what he do best, and he's going to try and whack Biddy. Because he is angry. He's screaming in your face, and you catch a scent of his breath, and oh boy, it's not nice.
Learn to brush your fucking teeth. Jesus.
Hold on, wait. Shit. I don't know why this one character's sheet is glitching out. I'm assuming an 11 does not hit.
Barely doesn't.
Alright, yeah, he swings his collection of knives at you, and even though, like, it looks like it could do a lot of damage if it connected, you manage to just barely brush it off, by stepping back and continuing on with the fight. I think it is now... Yeah, it's now Victoria's turn.
Well, I'm down, so
Oh yeah, make a death saving throw.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not nat 0. The one time I don't want a nat 0. That means you're basically still on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie,
Pass.
I didn't think you guys would be down today. Yeah, you're still on the floor. You took... The arrow basically hit you just around your collarbone, and it is some of the most agonizing pain that you've ever felt. You think you're gonna live through it, but you're panicking and you're trying to patch yourself up while you're on the ground, and you're just trying to deal with the pain.
I'm assuming I fell out of my tree.
You weren't in a tree, you were behind it. Unless
Oh.
you said you
Well,
wanted
then
to
I'm
be in a
good
tree. Wait, are you in the tree or on the floor?
I thought I'd like jump through the tree crowns.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would make more sense as to why it hurt so bad, because she would like fall out of the tree and then like maybe fall on the...
She got shot through the collarbone with an arrow.
that.
Yeah, but then like fell on the arrow as she like hit the ground, and then it like.
You've seen Tomb Raider.
Yep.
But either way, you're on the floor now, and you're just trying to deal with this arrow wound.
Okay.
It is now Mikalash's turn.
Well, I'm gonna do what I do best, hopefully, and firing off a Eldritch Blast at the mage.
Okay,
Fucking 9.
that's a 9. I don't think that... Yeah, that doesn't hit. From his dancing around, due to the fact that he was on fire, he just narrowly, even if not on purpose, manages to dodge this ball of energy that you've hurled at him. But he still seems to be on and fighting. Now it is Biddy's turn.
Okay. So I got this fucker, like, waving around this shit in front of me.
Mm.
Okay, so... I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Thunderwave. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I
No,
think...
no, that's the wrong thing. We're not touching Thunder Wave.
You do know George is in range of Thunder.
Yeah, I was
He's
gonna
in
say
front of me,
Thunder
though, isn't he?
What? No, he's behind you.
He's behind me.
Yeah, we
15
around you.
feet cube.
Yeah.
It's a 15-foot cube, so how much is that?
That he would be caught in the blast. And so would this
Okay.
random guy behind the...
Yes,
God
that
damn
would
it.
You
He's
could just
only
move up
just in
one.
range.
Move up one, and then you will be fine.
Actually, what I'm going to do instead is Hideous Laughter.
Okay. What's the effect of that?
A creature of your choice that you can see within range receives everything as hilarious and as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or falls prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. A creature within an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected. At the end of its turn, each time it takes damage, the target can make another Wisdom saving throw. The target has an advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage. On a success, the spell ends.
Alright, so wisdom save.
Yes, so he has to make a 12 or higher.
He made a 10.
So this guy just starts laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah, he's in the middle of a fight and you two are dancing in a circle of death and he's swinging around these knives, just thinking of the best moment and the best place to strike to try and incapacitate you. When he just looks over his shoulder and he just sees this woman fall out of a tree and land on an arrow. And then the fighter immediately loses his shit, cackling to himself, and you get a face full of this extremely bad breath as he's struggling to breathe.
I've laughed like that before.
It is now, unless there's anything else you want to do in turn, it's now George's turn. You
Okay,
are
what's the situation?
your ears ringing. Your body feels like you've just been hit by a wall, and everything hurts. But you are still able to stand up, and you are still able to fight.
Oh wait, before George starts his turn, can I use my bonus action?
To what?
Bardic Inspiration!
Yeah, boy.
Okay, sure. I mean, does that count as a spell? Can you cast both of those?
No, it's a bonus. To do so,
Okay.
you use a bonus action on your turn to choose one creature other than yourself within 60 feet of you who can hear you.
Okay.
The creature gains 1 Bardic Inspiration die, a d6. Within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll the die and add the number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes.
Okay. Who are you giving this to?
Who needs it most? Who's right there? Is that
That's
Nicholas?
George.
That's
Yes.
George. Okay. I'm gonna give it to George.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, George, you now have 1d6 to add to any die of your choice.
So I pull out my bagpipes and I start playing.
Yeah, whilst you've got a free moment and
Which song?
the person in front of you is laughing, you decide now would be the best time to help your teammates as you turn around and just give a quick little ditty on your bagpipes. And George, you see this and you realize, you thought at first that everything was kind of screwed, but the music cuts through the ringing in your ears and you suddenly feel like you have to finish this.
Yeah, I just look up and I'm confused as to why like she started playing bagpipes in the middle of a battle, but then that confusion just washes away after I feel like fucking amazing,
Yeah.
and then like I just go up to this mage with a great axe and just fucking fuck him up.
Alright, so you're attacking the mage.
Yes, please.
Alright, you move forward, make an attack roll. 14. How do you attack him? Make a damage roll as well. 7. Okay, how do you attack him?
I just fucking in one swift motion, I just like pull the axe off of my back and then just like baseball bat swing it, just aiming straight for his neck.
All right, you run over. You get the inspiration. You pull out the axe and you sprint over to him, and you just wind back. And he's still trying to brush off the flames from the attack from the magician. And just as he gets rid of the last flame that's starting to burn into his skin, he looks up at you, and panic fills his eyes. You raise your axe over your shoulder and swing it right. You decapitate his top jaw from his lower jaw as part of his head just goes flying through the air.
Hey.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Avenge me.
You're not dead.
She's down.
Yeah.
Still avenge me.
Not dead yet.
Yes.
Deadish.
Nearly dead.
It's like a depression kind of dead, you know?
The ranger looks behind it and
Have
just...
none of you seen The Princess Bride?
No.
No, I haven't yet. It's on my watch list. I keep. It was on
Okay,
Netflix.
at least it's
not
on your
anymore.
watch list.
Me too,
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yes. Okay, so when are we getting together and watching The Princess Bride?
Whenever you can
Right
come
after
to
we watch
England.
Love Actually, because oh my god.
Can I vote Hardcore Henry?
I mean, I have nothing the next 2 weeks. I'm up.
Yeah.
We can figure that after D&D.
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of which, the one ranger that was aiming at a woman, he manages to get a successful hit on her, watches her fall out of a tree, assumes that he's killed her. Before he hears this, what sounds like wet flesh being slapped, turns behind and just sees this scalp with hair spiraling through the air. It looks panicked before it goes down and sees a corpse of its friend just fall to the floor. It gives an angry sort of what's that thing where it's the opposite of a really bright smile? Scowl.
Snarl?
Yeah, it gives an angry snarl and a scowl before it readies up. You get the feeling that you're being watched as well, George, like the previous, Victoria, before it readies its bow and fires at you. Hold on. Where is the...
They can do 2 of those.
I'm assuming a 22 attacks.
Yes.
Yes. Alright. Yeah, they get it's a bonus action and it takes a spell slot. And if an enemy dies, you can move it on to the next one. Yeah. Alright. Oh, fuck me.
Language.
No.
Have sex with me.
We're all dead.
Alright. This archer looks and sees you fire its friend, and as you watch the body fall on the floor, Gorg, you see, you feel a little bit of elation before you hear a shh, and you get hit with an arrow in the chest. It's just short of your lungs, just a little bit under it, but you take 11 points of damage.
Well, I'm down.
Why are you killing us so early, Liam?
I'm not killing you. They are just fighting to survive.
And what are we?
Alright.
This reminds me of one of my
just going someplace.
where
Fair enough.
one of the campaigns I was in, where we ended up fighting, like, we got ambushed, but it was modern, so we were against a fucking tank,
Jesus.
and my tabaxi boy got shot in the spine by
How do you-
accidentally by
How
his
does
own
the tank-
teammate
Oh,
Wow.
Amazing.
because she rolled a nat 1.
Regtharn, it is now your turn.
Okay.
Who are you aiming for? And what are you
Aim for
doing?
Ranger.
I'm gonna aim for the ranger, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna aim for the ranger. What spell are you using?
Let's go with magic missile.
Magic missile, okay.
Easy damage.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Alright, 2.
Yeah.
Oh. So 2 points of damage. Alright. Regtharn, you...
Isn't it 3 darts though?
Yes, it's 3...
Yeah, so you gotta roll it.
I got to do it 2 more times.
Okay, alright.
There
Alright,
you go.
yeah.
Right.
So,
You feel these balls of energy sort of collect in your hand before you sort of throw them out, and they begin to take flight after their trajectory hits its height, and then it zones in on this enemy. He's still angry, and as he's loading up another bow, he watches another arrow. Sorry, he watches these 3 orbs of energy just sort of come towards him before one hits him in the thigh, one hits him in the gut, and one hits him in the side of the head. And he looks like he's about to lose consciousness. He's still on his feet, just barely.
Yeah.
And he turns to look at you before you watch as he explodes into a red mist. There is
There's
blood.
that wild magic.
Blood splatters on Gorg, blood hits the cart, blood goes everywhere. It slams up the side of the tree. You even get a few droplets of it land on your clothes. But as he disappears, you have found your permanent wild magic curse.
If I kill someone, they explode.
Yes, into a red
That's
bloody
amazing.
paste.
Oh, it's fucking bloody mess.
I love it.
Admittedly, I
Not
didn't
enough
think of that
blood
when I
in
made
this
it, but that is absolutely what it is.
Yeah, no, it's just bloody mess from Fauna.
Alright, it is...
Jesus Christ, that's not traumatizing.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Alright, the barbarian watches as just, like, a shadow of blood goes around the cart, just barely missing both him and the orc in front of him. And as far as he's concerned, he's seen 2 people get downed. He's fighting this person one-on-one. He's not done well so far, but he thinks he could
Now
still...
he's laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
was
like,
about to
oh
say,
shit, yeah, I forgot
Can't
about...
take any
Fuck.
actions. He's incapacitated.
He's
Can-
busy laughing at me.
He has to make
Love
another
it.
wisdom saving throw if he wants to do anything.
Oh, well, the thing is, he's a bandit. I mean, a barbarian. So...
I mean, he's also a bandit.
He's a
As far as
barbarian.
we know.
Haha!
Is it bad there?
He rolled a natural 1.
Well,
Does he
So he's
die
still on
from
the floor
laughing?
then.
Yeah, he drops his weapon and falls to the floor. And Biddy, you're just watching as like a little wet patch starts to form running down his leg. Like he is,
Gross.
yeah, he is laughing so hard, he is starting to go red and purple in the face. It is now. Victoria, make a death saving throw.
yeah.
18.
Hey.
Okay.
2 passes.
Yeah, you're starting to feel a little bit better. You're trying to pull this arrow out. You get to you manage to pull it quite a little bit before it gets to the blade of the tip of the bow, and because it's a little bit ridged, you feel like you're going to need a little bit more force to yank it out. But you're preparing to do that.
Okay.
Mikulash, your turn.
Also, I'd like to point out that the arrow Lara fell off wasn't an arrow, it was a piece of rebar.
Yeah, whatever. A piece of rebar can be an arrow if you got a hefty enough bow.
Sounds like a
Alright,
sex euphemism.
Oh.
Just out of fucking range. Bastard.
Bearing in
Can I
mind,
see
Move.
Gorg's gone down?
yes,
Yeah, I'm not moving anywhere.
Who's alive still?
everyone apart from you and Gorg. And,
No, I meant the enemies.
oh, just one enemy left.
Okay.
And he's currently pissing himself.
Not much of a danger.
Biddy, kill the fucking crazy
Biddy
one.
kill!
Pet, Jesus.
Biddy, kill the crazy one. Gorg's gone down. I'm gonna help him up. And,
Alright. You sure we don't want to capture him and question him?
I doubt he has much to say.
Okay, fair enough.
You can't talk. You're fucking
You're
dead.
down!
I doubt he has much to say.
He's crazed. He's psycho. Have you seen what he's fucking holding? He probably isn't gonna say anything. Just put him out.
They
Okay.
look like junkies to me.
And then I'm going to move down here. I'm not in range to use healing potion.
You can no.
Oh.
Okay. Next it is
Uh,
George. Make a death saving throw.
I'm gonna move there.
10. Yeah, you.
Pass.
Yeah, you feel this other arrow just sticking out of your like under your thing, and you're like, that's not good. That is the opposite of good.
Do I have
And
to add to this successes and failures thing, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Tick a success.
yeah.
Sweet.
And now Regthan, it's your turn. What do you plan on doing?
Can I hit the guy from here?
You probably could.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't he prone though? That disadvantage. He's down on the floor. And it's ranged.
I think it would cancel out because you get an advantage on a prone enemy, like usually.
Not from
Prone,
ranged.
Ranged.
Only
do
if
and do.
it's melee, I believe.
Prone and ranged. I'm not sure. I would say for now, like, considering he's rolling around on the floor and not particularly trying to dodge any attacks, but because of his smaller, he's on the floor, it would just be an average attack. Alternatively, you could use your turn to shout at Biddy and ask her to get the kill, if that's what you're going for.
Biddy is currently not available.
He ain't gonna hear nothing.
Oh.
Biddy is currently unavailable. Would you like to leave a
Please
message?
try again later.
Yeah, it is prone creatures have advantage if it's attacking within 5 feet, otherwise disadvantage.
Like I said, though, this is a guy that's rolling around on the floor. He's an especially large target. Probably wouldn't be that hard to hit it, especially with something like... If you wanted to use Magic Missile, that's an automatic hit anyway.
No, I'm gonna use like Chill Touch. See how that goes.
Yo.
I'm back.
Hello.
Yay.
Hey. Yeah, Regtharn's gonna try and steal your kill.
Yes.
Rude.
Yep.
Alright, making a attack
Biddy's been doing all this hard work, and you're just gonna come in and steal her shit?
Does 16 hit?
I think so. Let me check. Yes, it does. Make an attack roll.
You are
Sorry.
so rude.
3.
Also, I just checked something. You remember how you said Gorg is affected because he wears his heavy armor?
Mhm.
Because he's a dwarf, he doesn't get affected by it.
Oh shit, is
Oh,
that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
Dwarves don't lose speed because of heavy armor.
Okay.
Because they are stout boys.
Yes.
I was looking through mine and I got raised dwarf, and it's just like I don't lose speed if I wear heavy armor.
Oh, Michael, you pube.
What?
Alright, so you did 3 damage, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that doesn't kill the barbarian, but because of his hideous laughter, it recovers from that.
It gets
No,
advantage,
he has to make another saving throw.
and it gets
Oh.
advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, that makes more sense. It's yeah. I got excited then. No. And 9 and a 7.
That doesn't recover.
Yeah. Yeah. He feels like the feeling of necrosis crawling up from his side, where he just feels this cold shivering feeling, and he finds it fucking funny that he's turning into a zombie.
Nice.
It is now... Who else's turn is it? It is now Victoria's turn.
Oh, I'm still dying.
Yes.
I thought you just win.
What? No.
Oh, that's a fail.
That's a fail. Mark 1 down for fail. Yeah, you try and pull it out of your shoulder, and you just decide yanking it would probably be the best thing to do. So you yank, and then it gets stuck about halfway in. You feel it sort of rubbing up against your shoulder bone from the
I'm gonna need
underside.
one more success, yes?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'd
hope to come back.
Mikolash, your turn.
I'm going to feed Gorg a healing potion.
Okay, wait, which healing potion is it?
I only have one.
Oh. Oh, alright. George.
Straight whiskey.
George, do you resist this, or do you allow him to?
He's unconscious, isn't it?
I'm not unconscious, but
You're
I
down.
can't. I'm like that kind of hurt where like I can't even speak, and I'm just like.
To be fair, actually, I'm thinking about this actually, because I know who I got this from.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he did seem genuine.
It's not the same
It was
potion
the
as you
poison
had,
that-
yes?
No, it wasn't the same one.
No, so he specifically described it as a healing potion, and he
Oh yeah, that's right.
and you.
I don't
He
really
seems
have
like a
much to say,
trustable
so-
kind. Like he wouldn't lie to you specifically. He would just dance around
Except
words.
for about the goat's milk.
And even if it was the one I gave, he would die and come back, and he would get full HP. So
Yes.
True.
technically, if it's the one I got, this would be better. But meh.
Yeah, right now I'm just clutching my
But how would
wound
that
and I
work if
can't
he's
even-
already dead? Or down?
He's not dead yet. He's
Yeah.
prompt.
I changed it.
Yeah, was it just a common healing potion?
It appeared to be. Yeah. Are
On
you
the
gonna?
label.
Yeah. Are you gonna feed it to George?
Yes, I'm.
Okay. All right. George, you're groaning in pain, and as you let out a yelp, you feel like this bottle just enter your mouth, and you start chugging this liquid, and you start to feel a little bit better, and then you start to feel completely neutral. Make a perception check, Mikolash.
Yeah. That's not a success. Oh god.
Oh,
Killed it. 8.
8. See, here's the thing.
Okay.
This goddamn wizard.
I turn into a donkey.
Turn
Hopefully.
it to come.
I turn into a horse.
I was expecting turning into Comet.
Alright. George, make a D12 roll.
Oh boy. What was the shortcut for that?
Slash
Top
roll
left
D12.
it's
Just
I was
type slash roll D12.
I use the dice in the top left and then just click on the 1d12.
The dice.
Yes, there's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
little toolbar, yeah.
Just type slash roll D12. Hit
I
enter.
okay.
I got it.
And I
Alright.
got it.
Alright.
Please
Yeah.
hit that.
Mikolash, you look at him, he doesn't appear to be getting any better. And then you notice a pair of bright red heels forming on his feet.
Damn, girl.
Nice.
You now have
When
to
you say
walk
heels, do you mean like high heel shoes?
high heels. They are red high heel shoes. They are very shiny. They've got sequins on the front. You now have these for 8 minutes.
Alright.
And he doesn't get
heels
healed.
together and
No,
teleport.
there is absolutely no beneficial things apart from
Being fabulous.
the fabulousness, yes.
Can I steal the shoes? No.
Alright, it is now...
I
in
was
the-
ju- I was just,
Yeah?
I would just shout like, "Fucking wizard!"
Like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even recognize. I'm just like clenching my eyes closed. I'm just like, is it helping? Is it working?
You look down, there's still
It's
an
helping
arrow
me.
in your chest.
Fabulous!
Did I see your Riley go down?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you didn't really see her so much as you saw a bush shake
I
and
mean,
hear
you
a
definitely
scream.
heard me, I'd say.
Yeah. Alright, it is...
I'll shout out to Biddy then and just be like, you have 2 people to heal. Be careful.
Yeah.
Kill him.
It is
Quick.
now Regtharn's turn.
Let...
Don't steal my kill you, but I haven't gone since he last gone, though.
I was thinking.
Yeah, wait, did you not? Wait, hold on.
No, I did.
No, because you went in.
Oh shit! I mean, no, it's right after Mikolash. Sorry. I thought we like after Mikolash did sing and then George started speaking. I thought we went to George's turn. Sorry, I get confused with initiative sometimes. You'll have to be patient. But yes, it is now Biddy's turn.
So I'm just gonna bash this fucker's head in.
Okay.
Advantage. Woo.
Yes, advantage.
Can I? Yes, bitch.
2 nat ones. 2 nat ones. 2 nat ones. 2 nat ones.
Why do you want us to die?
It's funny.
Why do you...
Oh wait, shit.
Oh,
Oh,
Alright.
well, I'll take the top one because that was the first one you rolled. So 21.
Still
it's
hurts.
still
Yeah.
good.
Make a club attack roll. Wow. That doesn't kill him.
Are you
It's an
shitting me?
He
Oh,
ha-
wisdom saving throw now.
Yes, he's got a wisdom saving throw
I hate
with
you.
advantage.
I'm going to toilet.
Okay.
I,
Does a
I
six?
needed to go this whole time.
Does a 16?
Yes.
Yeah, 16. Okay. Yeah.
Why
You go for an overhead swing and you smack down and you hit him in the face with this club. And while it seems to bounce off his cheek and its nose, and you pull the club away and a piece of tooth comes clean with it, he suddenly has this look of seriousness on his face before he lets out a war cry.
Motherfucker.
George, it's now your turn.
Saving throw.
Yes.
Boop.
16.
Hey.
Yeah, mark that down as a success in your thing, if you know
2
how.
out of 3, baby.
Yes, 2 out of 3. 1 more turn and you can be up. Or 3 more turns and you can die. Your choice.
Sweet.
I mean, I was gonna get up this turn.
Yeah. Ranger, it's now Rektharn's turn.
Yeah, let's just chuck a firebolt at him.
Firebolt? 18, that hits. Okay, I'm not going to make you roll damage. Okay. Yeah. I will say he was on 1 HP from your attack, Biddy.
That's bullshit.
I hate you.
I had to
Just
get
know
that
that
kill.
you caused him a lot of pain without him having the satisfaction of dying.
Yes.
That'll make you feel better.
Yes.
No.
He lets out a war cry before you watch as this sort of explosion hits him in the chest and sets him alight. And he lets out a little cry and a scream for a few minutes before his movements start to slow down and his voice grows weak and he just sort of collapses on the floor.
And
then
explodes
explodes
in
into a bloody mess.
So I'm now covered in guts as well.
blood. Yes.
Yes. Well, even the guts were more sort of vaporized.
I'm now covered in blood.
Yes.
Everyone... Hold on. Everyone roll a d6.
Also, those of us who are dead.
Why?
Just no reason.
Also, those of us who are dead. Down.
Yeah, you can recover.
Oh, hang on.
I would say George, you're fine.
What? I was
George
not
hasn't
paying
rolled.
attention, Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, George, you don't have to roll. Don't worry about it. You're cool.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Biddy, you feel this wet hand slap your face as it flies towards you. Mikolash, you watch as she gets covered in blood before you also get rained upon. Rogthon, you laugh at her getting hit in the face, and then a foot just claps your shoulder. Uriah, you get the other leg.
A leg up.
Yes. Everyone is now
Only covered on
absolutely...
one?
Everyone is covered in blood, apart from Gorg.
Who's covered in his
Well,
own blood?
I got covered in blood from over there.
Yes.
Jesus.
There's a lot of blood in this campaign.
Welcome to
Holy
one of my
shit, Mortal
campaigns.
Kombat.
You need a blood texture just to cover the map.
Yeah,
Yes.
just red. Just put a red square on the screen.
Just
Oh,
a big red blob.
I think I can do that on the fly. Hold on.
I got you, fam.
That's...
Hey, no,
Jesus.
that's not enough.
Dude, that's such a good texture. Where'd you get that?
Found it.
Hang on. Oh no. I need the fill.
That-
There we go.
Oh, that fucking MS Paint. Oh, I love it. I love it.
That about covers it, right?
I'm gonna just do that real quick.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Please refrain forever. I'm just gonna
Accept me.
leave that there. Map player. There we go. There you go. Please stop drawing penises. I'm begging you. Alright. But yes, you all slowly start to recover as the last of your foes is defeated. What does everyone do?
What's my situation right now?
Mikolash is currently... No, you're alive. Mikolash is currently
Am
near
I done?
you. What?
I'm
The-
gonna go pee quickly. Like,
Okay,
I really
yeah.
need to pee.
Are we just all having a pee break?
Yeah, let's have a break because I need to pee.
Cool.
Alright.
Cool.
I'm gonna leave the stream running, but I'm gonna...
Everyone
that
say
means-
the N-word.
Everyone
No,
leaves, and then I can just spew racism. It's
I'll
great.
be right back.